Hello everyone, it's Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and today I have a yoga flow for you that is all about the core. So lots of core work, lots of strengthening and stretching through the core muscles. You won't need anything at all for this practice, just yourself and your mat, maybe a drink of water. So if you are ready, let's begin. So we are going to get started today at the back of our mats and by coming into a child's pose. So let's take toes together, knees apart. We're going to walk the arms nice and long. Try to keep the hips down towards the heels and then rest the forehead down. The forehead might come onto the mat or it may come on top of stacked hands. But we're just going to take a second here to begin to slow the breath down. So coming into this posture, we're going to feel a nice big stretch through the arms, down both sides of the waist, lots of space in the low back and the hips. We're going to breathe deeply. So taking long inhales and full exhales. Hopefully feeling a bit of a stretch in the upper back, and if we start to create a little bit more space in the body, we might even want to walk the fingers out a little bit further away, just stretching out through those arms a little bit more. We're keeping our hips low and we continue to breathe deeply. Let's take this stretch into the sides of our waist. So pick up your gaze and take it down towards your fingertips. We're going to walk the fingertips off towards one side. So try to keep the hips where they are. Walk the hands and the fingers off towards the right. Now they may come a little bit off towards the right, or they may come all the way off the mat, but we want to keep the hips low. And then take your forehead down. So we're going to feel this stretch, this time coming more in through the left hand side of the body, all the way from the waist, right up through the rib cage, through the armpit, into the arm. We keep breathing deeply. And then after your next exhale, we can walk it across to the other side. So bring those hands back through center, take it off towards the left. And keeping the hips low, we bring the forehead down once again. So this time feeling that deep stretch in through the right hand side of the body, coming up through the hip, the waist, the arms. Breathing nice and deeply here. And then after your next exhale, coming back to center with the fingertips, we can keep the gaze up towards the hands and we're going to lift our hips up and come into our tabletop. So we're on our hands and our knees and we're just going to warm up through the spine with some cat-cows here. So we have the wrists under the shoulders, knees are under our hips, and we're going to flow with the breath. So as we inhale, we're going to look forward, we're going to roll the shoulders back, tailbone points up. As we exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, press the hands, arch through the upper back. As we inhale, we roll the spine forward, open up the chest, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, arch the upper back. Nice. Inhale, we come forwards. And exhale, we roll it under. And we're going to keep those nice deep breaths that we cultivated in our child's pose. And we're going to flow with those breaths. So keep this movement nice and slow and controlled and smooth. Just wakening up the spine here, feeling this stretch all the way from the neck, right down to the tailbone. Take one more round in your own time, a big inhale and exhale. And then we can all meet back in our tabletop with a nice neutral spine. We're going to keep the hands where they are and we're just going to start to roll the hips. So think about taking the hips into big circles here. So lots of movement in the hips and the lower back. We just roll the hips one way, just wakening up through the lower half of the body, staying strong through the arms. And then maybe we make this a little bit bigger, so maybe start to take the hips back towards the heels, roll it around, bring it forwards. And if this doesn't feel good, that's okay. Just go back to doing those smaller hip circles. You know, this practice is for you. So we always want to feel, good in our bodies. We want to be feeling like what we are doing is serving us in some way, even if that doesn't look exactly like what I'm doing here. And then coming all the way back up to center, we're going to take those little hip circles and just take them the other way. So again, we're strong through the arms, we're just circling the hips, this time in the opposite direction, moving through the low back. And then again, either choosing whether we want to stick with this or maybe make them a little bit bigger, dropping the bum back towards the heels and back up, making these big circles with the hips, with the body, bringing movement in through the wrists here. And then eventually coming all the way back up to center and back into our tabletop. Nice. So from here, we're going to start getting into the core a little bit. So we're going to have the fingertips spread nice and wide. And before we even move, we're going to think about switching on all of the muscles in through the core. So we really want to think about almost plugging the belly button back towards the spine so that we're active here. We might feel a little lift in the back as we pull everything up and in. Think about your abdominal muscles moving together as well. So we're pulling everything in, we're pulling everything up. We're going to keep breathing. And then we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to take the right leg away. And if it's enough for you to stay on tippy toes here, you can keep your right toes on the floor, or maybe we're going to lift that leg. So the leg might lift a little bit, or it might lift up in line with the hip. It doesn't matter here. I'm just going to see if we can find a little bit of hold. And keeping really switched on, really engaged through the core. We can point those right toes away. Imagine that someone is behind you and they're pulling your leg long. We want to feel a little bit of stretch in through the right hip flexor as well. So keep breathing here. And then as you exhale, drop that right knee down. Same thing, other side. Left leg comes out long. We might keep the toes on the floor. Or maybe if we're feeling a little bit strong already, we can start to lift the left leg up. It might come up a little, it might come up a lot. But again, check in with the core here. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Feel all of your muscles moving in towards each other, pulling up. Keep strong through the leg. We're going to point the left toes away. Again, sending the leg nice and long, feeling that stretch in through the left hip. Take a nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, bring that knee back to the floor. Nice, let's take our bum back onto our heels, just taking the weight off the wrists for a moment. We can make little fists with our hands and just circle the wrists out a little bit. If we are maybe not used to doing yoga every day, it can be quite taxing on the wrists. So it's nice to sit back every now and again and take a little bit of movement through the wrists, just inviting that blood flow back in. We can give a little bit of shake. And then we're going to come right back in. So coming back into our tabletop, and we want to find that position that we were in previously. So wrists are under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're feeling that engagement. So core is switched on, we're feeling that little bit of a lift in through the back. And we're going to go right back into our right leg. So we're going to see if we can lift the right leg out and send it away. If you had the toes on the floor the last time, let's see if we can lift the foot off the floor this time. We're going to try to stay as steady and as stable as we can. And we're just going to see if we can start to send the left hand out. So we can stay on fingertips, or maybe we start to float the left hand up. We're going to keep the arms and the legs long. We are breathing. We're going to try and stay steady through our back. Take a nice big inhale, and as we exhale, we're just going to see if we can bend the knee, bend the elbow, maybe bring them in together to touch. They don't have to touch, but they're coming in that general direction. Inhale, we stretch it out. Exhale, we take it in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, take it in. Nice. Keep this nice and smooth and controlled. Stay steady through your back. Stay engaged through your core. Let's go for one more in your own time. Nice, and then we're going to keep the right leg lifted, drop the left hand down. We're going to see if we can keep this right leg lifted. We're going to pick up the lower half of the left leg and swing it out towards the left hand side of your mat. We're going to see if we can lift this right hand up, reach it up towards the sky. We're coming into a variation of our side plank here. If this right leg is starting to get tired, we can bring it back down to the floor, but we're going to reach the right arm up nice and high. Take your gaze up. The right leg is either lifted or it's down. We're just here for a few deep breaths. So breathing deeply, imagine like we are trying to pull the waist up towards the sky. So if we imagine someone has a little string wrapped around our waist and they're pulling us up towards the sky. Nice, we're here for one big inhale, full exhale, and then drop the arm, drop the knee, come back to your tabletop, and then sit yourself back for your child's pose. Nice, toes together, knees apart, stretch your arms long, rest your forehead down, catch your breath. Taking the weight once again off the wrists here. If the wrists need a little bit of a roll out, we can do that. And just begin to slow your breath right back down. Again, relax all of your core muscles, relax your lower back. Taking our last few deep breaths here. And then after your next exhale, nice and slowly begin to rise yourself all the way back up again, coming back into our tabletop, and you know where we're going. We're going to be doing the exact same little sequence on the other side. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. This time it is the left leg. We're going to send it out and away. If the toes was on the floor last time, let's see if we can get a little bit of a lift here. So keep that leg strong and engage your core. So once again, coming back to these muscles in the core, pulling your tummy button back towards your spine. Thinking about all of these muscles at the side, coming in, pulling up. Keep breathing. We're going to stay here. We're going to keep that leg nice and strong, and we're just going to see if we can start to come out onto the right fingertips here. We can stay on fingertips, or maybe we begin to float that arm up. Nice, it doesn't matter how high it comes. Our core muscle working here to keep us balanced. You're going to pretend that I'm going to come and I'm going to set a glass of water on your back, and we don't want to spill that water, so we're going to stay super strong, super steady. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, can we bend the elbow, bend the knee, bring them in towards the center. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, take it back in. Inhale, reach out and away. Nice, keep going with that. Keeping this movement smooth and controlled. Keeping the back steady, core engaged. As we inhale, we take the arm and the leg away. As we exhale, we bring them in. Let's do one more in your own time. We meet with the arm and the leg back out. Let's drop the right arm. We're going to see if we can keep the left leg lifted. We're going to pick up the lower half of the right leg, swing it out towards the right hand side. Right hand is planted on the mat. We're going to inhale, reach up nice and high with the left. Again, we can keep this left leg lifted, or we can drop it to the floor if that feels better. But wherever we are engaged through our core. We have that string around our waist, and someone is pulling our waist up towards the sky. Keep engaged, keep breathing. We're here for one more big inhale, a full exhale, And then drop the hand, drop the knee, come back and sit once again into your child's pose. So again, the weight coming back off the wrists should feel amazing. We keep breathing, we breathe into the lower back, we breathe into our core. Take one more big inhale here. Take a full exhale. And then we're going to lift the gaze, we're going to lift the body up, and we're going to be bringing ourselves forward and down into our Sphinx pose. So we're going to start to send the legs away. We're going to drop down onto our elbows so that our forearms are along the floor and the legs are outstretched. Nice. In our Sphinx pose, we are sort of aiming to have the elbows underneath the shoulders. If that's a little bit uncomfortable, we can send them a little bit further out to give us a little bit of grace in the low back. But just finding what feels good for you here. Forearms are on the floor. We're pressing the palms into the floor. We're rolling the shoulders back. And we're stretching out all of those muscles in through the front of our tummy. Nice. Take a few deep breaths here. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower the upper body down. We're going to slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, and we're going to be pressing ourselves up and into a variation of a plank. So we're either going to be on the knees here or on the tippy toes. Let's take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to press, keep the elbows hugging in. We're either coming into our full plank so that we're on our tippy toes, or maybe we keep the knees on the floor here. It doesn't really matter. We are strong through the arms, we are engaged in the core, and we're working all the same muscles, whichever variation you are in. Nice. Wherever you are, we're going to see if we can find a little dip towards each side here. So take a big inhale, and then as we exhale, we're just going to see if we can start to dip the hips towards the left and then towards the right. So we're starting to feel this now a little bit in through the sides of the waist. Working to pull yourself back up to center. Let's just take one more each side. Coming back into your plank. And then whatever variation you're in, we're going to press back into our downward dog. So take a big inhale. As we exhale, we're lifting the hips. We're going to send them up and back into your downward facing dog. Nice. Find a little bit of movement here. So we can bend and straighten one knee at a time. We can take a moment to walk it out. And then come back into stillness. Nice. We're going to keep the left leg down. And as we inhale, we're going to see if we can reach the right leg up. When the right leg comes up, we're going to see if we can find a nice big opening through the hips. So bend the right knee, open the knee. As if you're pointing the knee up towards the sky, open your right hip. We're here for one big inhale and exhale. And then come back into your three-leg dog. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come forward into our plank and bring your knee up towards your elbow. It might not touch your elbow, but that's okay. As we inhale, the weight comes back, the leg comes up. Exhale, send it forwards. Inhale, three-leg dog. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Can we stop here? Can we hold for 3 and 2 and 1 and come back to your plank. Lower all the way back down and come back into your Sphinx pose. Nice. Forearms along the floor, shoulders rolled back. We're breathing. We're stretching out all the muscles in through the front of the core. Taking a few breaths here. And then we know where we're going. We're going to come back and do the same thing on the other side. Let's take a big inhale. As you exhale, lower your upper body all the way down. We're going to slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Again, you choose for you whether you're going to come up through a half plank or a full plank. If it's a full plank, we're going to tuck the toes under. If it's half, we're keeping the knees on the floor. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, we're going to come up through our plank and then press those hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Nice. From here, when we next inhale, we're going to reach the left leg up towards the sky. We're going to find that opening through the hip. So bend the left knee, open the left hip, point that knee up towards the sky. Take a big inhale and exhale and come back into your three-leg dog. Nice. Take a big breath in. As we breathe out, can we send the weight forward? Bring that left knee up towards the elbow. Inhale, take it back, three-leg dog. Exhale, send it forward, knee to elbow. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more times. Keeping strong through the arms, keeping the core engaged, using your core to see if you can press that elbow a little bit closer. Take a nice deep breath here. Can we stop? Can we hold with the knee towards the elbow? Take a nice big inhale, full exhale, and then send both feet back, knees come to the floor, send your hips back towards your hands and find your child's pose. Arms might be outstretched, head might be on the floor, and breathe here. Find your breath, let your heart rate begin to slow down. If it feels good, we can keep the elbows on the floor and maybe bring the hands together, lift the hands up and overhead so that we're getting this little extra stretch in the back of the shoulders and in the arms. Take one more inhale and exhale in your own time. And then if the hands are up, we can bring them back down. We're going to lift the gaze. We're going to walk the hands all the way back towards the knees, bringing ourselves into more of an upright position. And then bring yourself to sit down on your bum in a nice comfortable position. It doesn't matter too much which way we're sitting. Take the hands down onto the knees or onto the thighs and just find a few little shoulder rolls here. So we have been on our hands and knees quite a bit. We've passed through some planks and downward dogs, so we have been building strength in the upper arms and in the shoulders as well as working the core. So just taking a few big rolls of the shoulders here. Coming back to center and then just to stretch out the sides of the waist. We're going to bring the left hand to the floor, reach up nice and high with the right hand, take a big inhale, and as we exhale, can we send it up and over? It's coming into our side stretch. We can keep the left arm straight, or we can start to bend the elbow. We can come all the way down to the elbow, but wherever we are, we're going to make sure that the hips are nice and planted into the mat. We're going to keep the chest nice and open. We're reaching away with those top fingertips. Take one more big breath in and out, and then float yourself all the way back up. Drop the right hand, inhale, reach the left hand up this time, and then as we exhale, can we send it into our side bend? So again, we might stay up on the arm here with the right arm straight, or we might begin to bend, maybe come on to the elbow. But again, we are feeling this big stretch all the way from the hip, coming right up through the rib cage, through the arm. Keep reaching up and away with those top fingertips, breathing deep. Chest is open, shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. We're here for one more big inhale. Full exhale. And then nice and slowly come all the way back up to seated. As one final stretch, we take a big inhale, reach both hands up and overhead, bring the palms together at the top, and exhale, hands down to your heart space. And namaste, everyone. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe. It is very, very appreciated. And all that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Namaste.